The night air was cooler than I anticipated when I stepped outside, the street washed in the soft glow of a flickering lamp. I'd stayed longer than planned, lingering in conversation I didn't quite feel part of anymore. When Evan offered to drive me home, I almost refused. It felt unnecessary. He was younger, my cousin's son, someone I still thought of as a boy. But my body was tired, and something in his calm presence made me say yes. The car was warm when I slid into the passenger seat. As we pulled away, the world outside softened into streaks of light and shadow. We talked easily at first, work, life, small things, but there was a gentleness in his voice that settled me in ways I hadn't expected. When he asked how I was really doing, the question landed deeper than polite conversation ever does. I surprised myself by answering honestly. I told him about feeling unseen lately, about how life hadn't unfolded the way I once imagined. He listened without interrupting, without trying to fix anything. When he finally spoke, he told me he'd always admired my strength, how I carried myself with quiet grace. The sincerity of it caught me off guard. Compliments like that feel different when you haven't heard one in years. We took the long way home, the road winding through trees and quiet stretches of darkness. Rain began tapping against the windshield, soft and steady. At a small overlook, he pulled over so we could look out at the city lights shimmering below. Standing there beside him, I felt something loosen inside me. Not excitement exactly, but warmth, comfort, being seen. When he drove me home, neither of us rushed the goodbye. Before I stepped out, he told me gently that I wasn't invisible, that I wasn't as alone as I thought. I carried those words with me long after the door closed behind me. The next day, his message came unexpectedly. Simple, thoughtful, checking in. It shouldn't have meant much, but it did. It reminded me of the quiet connection we'd shared, how rare it felt to be listened to without expectation. A few days later, we ran into each other again. A short drive, then a walk beneath a sky turning lavender with evening. We talked about choices, about uncertainty, about how both of us, despite the years between us, were still figuring things out. Sitting on a bench beneath an old tree, I realized how easy it felt to be myself around him. He told me he valued our conversations, that they grounded him. I admitted they did the same for me. There was no rush, no crossing of lines, just a deepening awareness of something quietly meaningful forming between us. When he walked me home that night, the porch light glowing softly behind us, he said he'd like to talk again sometime. I told him I would too. After he left, the house felt fuller, not emptier. The ride home hadn't changed my life in any dramatic way, but it had shifted something inside me. It reminded me that connection can arrive unexpectedly, that it's never too late to feel seen, and that sometimes the most meaningful beginnings start with nothing more than a simple offer to drive you home.